I'm going to be reading from A Dream Called Love. Um, this is a hard chapter for me to read. This is the last chapter in the book, and as always in this book, I basically write down my dream and then I give a commentary, a couple of sentences to tie it up at the end. This is an actual dream. I arrived at Lisa's apartment building. There were hundreds of empty parking spaces surrounding it. My van was the only moving vehicle. I parked my van next to her apartment door by the curb. She came out, standing on the sidewalk, and I went to stand beside her. We're going on a trip, a marvelous journey. Our child, now grown, stepped into view. He'd be coming with us. I remembered him as a baby. A small, cooing package warmly wrapped. I remember him as a toddler, spitting out Legos. I remembered him as a preschooler, being pushed on a swing. "Stay over there!" I'd commanded, and the swing brought him back. "Not here!" Push. "Over there!" And he giggled. The game is like the fake chase where Daddy says, "Gonna get ya!" and the little monkey falls over laughing. This variant is called Ridiculous Orders, and every child loves it. I remember him using a felt pen to color an entire sheet of paper green, because the instructions had said, using a sheet of green paper, cut out leaves for your picture. He didn't have any green paper, so he'd made some. I remember walking on the beach, pointing out a huge sturgeon, half buried in the sand. The bony plates made it look like something from the dinosaur age. "That's a dinosaur fish," I'd said. "There must be a time slip around here somewhere, and that fish managed to come through from the past." He didn't see how that was realistically possible, so he poked the bony plates with a stick of driftwood. I remembered him taking the lead, setting up our camping tent. It was his chore, but I would help as directed. He'd tried to extend his command level to include ordering his mother around. That hadn't worked for him. I remember... slip on the page. I remember the argument about the long hair, how defiant he had been. To me, it made him look stupid. To him, he said it made him look cool, even knowing I would lose. I continued the argument, not knowing why. In retrospect, I was encouraging him to defy me on a safe subject, to grow in his own strength. I remember him fixing his bicycle to get to his girlfriend's house, and it was so dang far that he called for a ride home. I remember him graduating from high school, looking like every other kid in a robe in the line. And here he was, going on a trip with us. I grinned and moved to hug him. He moved away, shaking his too long hair. No parental displays of affection allowed. I looked at my woman, who, for some reason, wanted this journey. I looked at the van, which was open to receive more items to transport. I'd packed my van quickly, but it wasn't full. There was a flat-screen TV on one side, a couple of boxes of books and movies, a couple of suitcases of clothes, and some camping gear. There was, for some reason, a collapsible crib, some starter food and spices, and a camp stove with a couple of propane bottles. I knew there would be tarps and folding chairs under the pile. There was room for the other stuff that two people would add to this pile. I looked forward to grumbling while shuffling it around so that everything would fit. I turned around, and I looked from the open door of my van, and my son wasn't there. Lisa was there, but she stood alone. A bit jarring, but I took it in stride. "He won't be coming with us," Lisa said. Well, that was sad. I was looking forward to sharing the journey. An empty plastic bag, rolling with the breeze, was picked up and lofted by some invisible mini-vortex. It seemed to wave goodbye to us as it receded across the vacant parking lot. I wake up. I transcribe my dream. Sometimes it is not possible to interpret a dream. This one was easy. The night before, I'd had a call from Lisa. I aborted the baby, she'd said. And with that, the future changed. I'd gone over to her house to hold and comfort her. She'd fallen asleep in my arms, wrapped in a childhood quilt. My last view of her was through the open bedroom door. She was curled up and sleeping when I left her. Now what?